3, 2. Oh my God.
Yo, what's up?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the program.
The Airtime Podcast is presented by Van Shoes since 1966.
There's nothing fake about it. Have something to believe in and be yourself. You know what I'm saying?
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. We got the big dog, one of the best snowboarders ever, arguably the best snowboarder ever at one point. I mean, the guy won the Olympics. You can't argue with those fucking numbers. We got Sage Kotsenburg. How you doing, dog? How you living? Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for that's a meaty intro. Feeling good right now.
We got the greatest snowboarder in the world from 2014.
Feeling nice right now. When you text you coming into town, you're like, what up, Joe? Next text, podcast?
I tried to kind of be chill, but at the same time,
I was down. I was super hyped.
I mean, at this point,
I was actually hyped you asked because I was down to hop on.
Oh,
I'm just on banter mode right now.
Yeah, I know. I know you do a lot on the bomb hole, and we're gonna do it a lot different.
Whack, man. Chris?
Yeah,
no,
Chris.
Dude,
Silk D's the shit. But
yeah,
Chris. Let's go big here. We got the poster that you can't see of T. Ricky hitting Chad's Gap in Absinthe Pop.
Yep.
You've hit Chad's Gap. Let's start on fucking Chad's Gap.
Yeah. I went to the premiere of Pop in Salt Lake, and that's when I first saw Chad's, obviously. And I remember just walking away from the premiere like, dude, Travis Rice is the GOAT. And I want to hit that jump so bad. You know, I think it was 2004, I think Pop came out. So I'm like 10 or 11 years old. I think I'm like 11 at the time of the premiere. And we were just so gassed up on like Roman and Travis. And so, yeah, I just had it in my head forever. I was just like, it's right there. Like, we got to hit that one day, you know?
Okay, before you hit Chad's Gap, what was your favorite clip on Chad's Gap?
My favorite clip is, so in Pop, when it's Travis's part at the end, and I'm guessing Hassanek edited it. I've never looked at it, but I'm guessing he's editing this part. And he goes into the in run, and then he kind of disappears where there's the little dip before. And I might butcher this a little bit. And then it goes to like a moon shot or like a landscape shot. And then he comes and he does, I think it's when he does the back rodeo 7. And it was the sickest shot ever. It was the back rodeo 7 or maybe the switchback 5. But I was like, dude, this is one of the coolest shots of all time. You know, like just the way it was edited, like the in run, the disappear, the landscape shot, or like the moon or whatever. And then just like big 125 foot like back rodeo. So iconic. I ate that up when I was a kid, dude.
Did T. Ricky do this is the right part, right? I haven't seen this movie for a long time, but Modest Mouse.
Yeah, Modest Mouse float on. Ender.
And he's got Ender in that movie.
So sick.
Front 10 doubles it on the first clip, right?
Front 10 doubles pyramid.
Okay.
Yeah. In 04. Like, think about that. Like, if you went back to pyramid and front double 10 today, it would be a banger clip in your video part. Like, he opened up his video part in Pop with that. You're like, just timeless, dude. Just homie was on a level that year.
And pyramid jump that year, the way it formed was the knuckle was like a wall.
Yeah.
Like if you came up short, like the shit that Roman and was it just Roman and Travis that hit that?
Yeah, I think more people might have hit pyramid, and then only Roman and Travis stepped to Chad's, I think, that year.
Okay, let's get a list of riders that have hit Chad's Gap that you know of.
Just snowboarders or
snowboarders?
Everyone? Yeah. So Travis, Roman, Bjorn Linus, Eric Linus, Forrest Shearer, which is insane.
That seems kind of rogue.
Snaked in. I think he snaked in, didn't help build it or something, or I don't know. I'm not wanting to throw Shearer under the bus, but I'm pretty sure Forrest rolled up and was like, yo, can I hit it? And just back fived it or something crazy. There's some kind of wild story about it. Okay, so let's get back. Eric Linus, Bjorn. Yeah, Bjorn Cab 9 did. Forrest. Hans Minnick. I think Brandon Cocard hit it. He backflipped it. Aspen Weaver hit it. And then I might be missing someone from their crew. And then me, Baden, Ferg, and Gabe hit it.
Enjoy.
Yeah. And then Sebe and Nils hit it. I helped Nils and Sebe build it 2 years ago. So I might leaving a couple people out on that, but that's pretty much it, I think.
Let's get for the listeners that don't even know what Chad's Gap is, and they're all like, "We've just dove into
just
this,
go
like,
straight into some like just Chad.
What is Chad's Gap?
Chad's Gap is this. It's like the landing is basically an old like mine tilling pile, and where the takeoff is just this like perfect platform to build a jump. And it's somewhere, I've never personally measured it, but it's somewhere around like 120 feet to the knuckle. And if you come up short, there's obviously very bad consequences. Like everyone's probably seen the Tanner Hall clip of him. Because what's weird about Chad's Gap, and I've been kind of telling some younger kids to be hitting it in the winter because it's perfect in the winter. But everyone, I think because Travis and Roman hit it in the spring, everyone builds it in the spring. And I was telling someone at a premiere in Salt Lake, it was like Blake Muller or something, like, you should build Chads in the winter. And it's like way safer and you could do tricks on it way easier. And it's powder landing. Like it's perfect. It's still the same jump. You don't got to ice. You don't got to salt the in-run. It's way easier to slip it. The in-run would take probably, I don't know, a couple slips on it and then let it harden up overnight. And it'd be all smooth.
We've all ragdolled in the slush and ragdolled in the POW. I'm picking POW all day.
Yeah, like I'm like, why is no one busting out on Chads in the winter? Why are we all hitting it in like it's the sketchiest time to hit it? There's like rocks in the landing, and you're like making this. You got to salt the in run, and the speed's changing. Like, I don't know. Someone's got to bust down on it in the winter for sure.
All right, favorite clip on it from anybody ever.
From anyone ever, I think it's the Back Radio 7 from Travis. Yeah, it's kind of hard to beat that. Also, his cab 7 on it is crazy because I think I never asked him, but I swear he was trying a cab 5 and just kind of like over rotates. If you look at the clip, he looks like he's doing a cab 5 and just kind of like wheels it out to cab 7 and stops somehow, which is crazy.
The wheel out the cab 5 to a cab 7, which a lot of people have done in their parts, it's so noticeable for lots of people, and it just doesn't translate. You're like, ooh, cab 5, but he gave it too much gas.
Yeah.
Gigi, to me, has like a couple of those throughout his career, but they always just fucking work out. I'm like, hell yeah.
Gigi's style is just so good. I mean, that guy does his like throwaway clips are like some people's A grades.
Okay, let's go first hit Chad's Gap, your first time ever. What's the emotion? What are the vibes? Are you scared?
Dude,
did you lose the Rosham?
Vibes were gnarly. Ferg lost the Rosham, and we had had a Tanner Hall video that I like screen recorded of where to start on his one that he cleared it. So not on the one that he decked on, but on
my ankles.
Yeah, dude. So we have this Tanner Hall clip. Like, do we got to start here? And Ferg just hauls ass. He's just always riding so fast, and he comes mocking into it and just like pile drives in the gut of the lip because there's this crazy compression right before, and just like flies off the lip 50 feet probably like onto his back into the middle of the gut of it. And we're at the top like, no. Like, who's going next? So like Baden was next, I think. And he's like, all right, I'm going. Slows down a little bit, greases like a front 3. And then the session was kind of on. It was like, all right, we got this, no problem. But yeah, it was nerve wracking for sure. It was like really quiet and just kind of like a spring sunny day. No one else was around really. It was kind of us and maybe a couple other people that were like bystanders, just like awfully quiet. You're kind of like, all right, so dropping next, I guess. Which is like it's so intense. Like every drop in 10, it was like it got quieter than I've ever heard a jump session ever. Like it's dropping in 10. Everyone was just on like high alert. So
because that's kind of, you guys got kind of like an amphitheater style. Like there I feel like whenever the Chad's Gap pops off, like a bunch of homies seem to be in the landing.
Yeah, people were definitely around. We had our crew. Our crew was pretty big for sure. We had a really I think that thing's all about having that crew there to to make the vibe a little bit better, like when you're hiking up. But yeah, it's nerve wracking every time you get to the top. Gotta hit this thing again. Like, why can't I land this trick?
How many tries for your tricks on that thing? Let's go through the list.
I think I tried. So I did a back 3 on it, and then I just went for back 12 right after. And I think it took me 5 tries, 4 or 5. I think 4 or 5 tries for the back 12. And at the end, I was just like, dude, I got it. If I don't do this, because I was just yanking it off the lip, because you're going so. Everyone thinks you're gonna have all this, like a ton of airtime. Like, oh, it's 125 feet, but it's kind of step downy. Like you don't have that much pop off the lip. Like we put as much tang on it as we could because I knew I wanted to do a 12 on it, and I'm like, I need all the airtime I can get. But you're also just you kind of G out before the lip, so your knees are kind of just like in your jaw off the lip, and you just like it was one of the fastest back 12s I feel like I've ever done. You don't have all this like free time thinking about stuff in the air, like it goes by mad quick.
Okay, so you went into that session being like back 12
for sure. Yeah, because that year I had back 10 Ravine Gap in Wyoming. I had cab 12 birthday gap. I had a front 12. I think I had a front 10 somewhere, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, I think I don't know if I had to switch back, and I was like, I ain't switched back 10 in this thing or something. What else do I got that I haven't gotten? I was like, back 12, I guess. So
you're going David Benedict, all 12s.
Yeah. I was just like going through, I'm like, well, I'm not going to back 10 it. And then no one had 1080'd it. So I was like, damn, if I 12 it, that's kind of like solidifying into like, I was like, man, hopefully this will live on. That was my goal with it. I was like, waited so long to hit it for the right time. I was like, if I'm going to hit it, I'm going to do something that I hope stands the test of time, instead of like light footing it a little bit. And we were on our like Rambo season. Like I was just watching videos like, I don't know, kind of like Mike Tyson knockouts and like Rambo and stuff. It's like on some crazy tip for sure of just being like, I'm going into this like warrior mode and like, I'm going to leave this thing in cinders. And that was like the vibe.
Oh yeah, we all remember listening to your bomb hole, just full David Goggins.
Yeah,
nothing's
just
fucking
like,
slowing you down.
Nothing's going because what also just came off like some like bad years where I was like after the Olympics and stuff, I stopped competing, so I felt like I sucked at it, and I was just kind of like a low point in snowboarding. And so I was coming into that year like, dude, I need to like prove it back to myself that I could be at a level that I can respect, that I could look at myself in the mirror and be like, yeah, you deserve what you have. And so that's why I just kind of went crazy and was like, I got to step up right now.
Yeah, there's a dance there because you want to put pressure on yourself to push yourself, but then there's the burnout that if you put too much on your pressure on yourself, you don't have any fun, you don't enjoy the process, and it just becomes counterintuitive to why you're doing it in the first place.
I totally agree on that. I think I kind of pushed the level of that the 2 years after when I was doing like real snow and stuff. I definitely kind of went into more of like a militant mind state, and it kind of cooked me for sure. And I needed like a year off of just having some fun. But yeah, it is that dance. You're like, hey, I want to be motivated. I want to be pushing the limit. But then there's a part like snowboarding's so fun. You want to be having a good time afterwards, or like you want to go get the clip and then maybe you're hitting something crazy or doing like a line that's terrifying, but then you're going to go like mess around afterwards and have some fun. Cause that is what just makes you come back. It's not the times of like back 12ing Chad's Gap. Like I don't want to ever do that again in my life. But I want to go like throw some butters or like go ride POW with my friends, So it is a nice little balance.
The night before the 12, you knew that you were going to do that. What does that like look like? Are you like in the shower listening to Rocky? Like,
dude,
like let's fucking go.
I was tripping for sure because I don't know if I told everyone I wanted to back 12 it. I think I was like, yeah, we'll see what, see what the in run looks like, see what the compression looks like. But in my mind, I knew I wanted to back 12 it. And I was just tripping. It was like slept good that night. We stayed up at Snowbird at the Cliff Hotel. They hooked us up with a room. Shout outs to them. But in the morning when we were waxing our boards and we were listening to like the Scarface theme song, like we were just on like such a crazy tip. We were all like, I don't know, I was like 25 then, so we were just kind of like, yo, this is our moment, like show up or shut up situation. And we woke up and I actually had a text from Bjorn Linus and he was like, this is your day, dude. Like all this stuff. Wrote this like motivational text and ended it off with steady through the lip. So all day we were just like, yo, steady through the lip, steady through the lip.
That's a good pointer. One of the first pointers I ever got going to Super Park. My friend Kevin Griffin told me it was the first year I got invited. And
Super Park's gnarly too, coming into that.
yeah, that was like 2007. And
Lake Louise? Or where was
the
it?
year after Lake Louise,
Okay.
the first year at Mammoth, or the first year back at Mammoth.
Sick.
And his advice to me was, you're not a sketch and don't fucking drift. Because like on a jump, like Chad's Gap, it's like you need to go into it like full confident, like warrior mode. Like I'm not
you kind of have
I'm
to.
not a sketchy snowboarder.
Yeah.
Like we paved the in run. I know that there's going to be a compression at this point. You're gonna fucking activate that core, and you're not gonna fucking do a trick that you're not fully dialed at. You're not gonna hinge. You know that piece. What did he say again?
Steady through the lip.
Steady through the lip is dope.
I know, it's nice.
'Cause
And
you
so
can
all
see-
day we're like, dude, just steady through the lip, steady through the lip. Because you know that's the hardest part of that whole entire jump is just like 50 feet before it, you kind of compress, and then you're kind of just like shot out of a cannon. So yeah, Bjorn Linus, steady through the lip.
We had a motto one time when we were maybe 2 or 3 years ago when we were filming for Sub-City, one of the Mountain movies. And Cody and a bunch of the homies that I was out boarding with, they would get up every morning and they would just type in like motivational speeches on YouTube. And they'd be like,
I love clicking
rise
into that.
and grind.
Yeah, rise
and
and
it's
grind.
like 15 minutes, but it's not even one person talking. It's like a compilation of a bunch of different people just saying epic shit while you're having coffee in the morning. Like, all right, boys, like get your fucking shit. We're going to the front lines today. Like,
It's so good. Yeah, there's something about like clicking in the mindset with the crew that's just so much fun, and you kind of have like that connection deep down. You're like, yo, we're all in this, and it's like goofy and kind of funny, but it makes. That's what you go back to, and you're laughing your ass out for that. You know, you're like, remember when we were listening to those like motivational speeches, or like watching like Scarface theme song before like
nobody remembers the 12.
Yeah, like,
it's just the banter
like
in the
waxing
morning.
the board, listening to Scarface theme song. Like that's what you remember.
When you were a part of that session with Gabe,
Nick,
Ferg, and Nick, and yourself, did everyone get clips on that thing?
Yeah, everyone did. Like Ferg had sketched on like he was back wanting it, which was pretty nuts. And he had kind of like kept sketching, and I think just like tiredness kind of waved in. But I think everyone else got clips and was like super stoked. And it was just we were off of an insane season. Like Ferg was like some of the craziest footage ever. You know, Gabe was like 19, and yeah,
that Ville photo.
Oh,
Ferg
that
back seven that thing.
That was a year or two after
Okay,
that,
that
but
was
yeah,
sick as
yeah,
fuck.
Ferg back seven that, which was nuts. He's an animal. But everyone was it was the last session of the year, so everyone was just hyped, and we kind of came into Joy with. I remember actually Blatt and Runke kind of sat us all down when we were like figuring out the logistics of like filming Joy, and they kind of just reiterated going into it that we weren't making. Just like some random snowboard movie. Like they're like, yo, if you guys are all together, Red, me, and Ferg, we're kind of the main people in it. It's like you guys got to put up, you know, or else it's a letdown because people are just gonna have these expectations of it. It's like, oh, Ferg, Red, and Sage are making a movie, and so I think we all just kind of went in the year like, all right, we're like 20, we're all 25. Red's probably 19 or 20 at this point. I don't know how old he is. Like 20 years old
Red's
or something.
been fucking 20 for like 1,000 years.
Dude. It's his career arc is insane. But yeah, me and Ferg are like 25, 24. Red's 20, and we just we're like, okay, let's put it up. Let's put our names into like a serious movie, and that we have like some respect for, you know. And so that was our vibe through the whole winter. And then after the Chad's Gap sesh, it was just like we ended it on 4/19, so 4/20 was the next day. I think we all like partied and had a bunch of fun, just like let loose a bit because it was pretty gnarly winter. So that was good.
All right, let's tap into flow state here. You're hitting something like Chad's Gap. You're doing the Olympics, X Games.
Yeah.
Definitely
serious, yeah.
a top tier rider who's at the forefront of progression. Is it easy for you to tap into that like flow state that people talk about? Does it happen all the time?
Yeah, you know what's funny about flow state is I never knew what it was until I think Grindy's hit me with it. And, this is years ago, like in Flow State. I feel like what I was hearing about it was like maybe like 5-6 years ago. It was like, oh, Flow State, like you got to tap into Flow State. And everyone was explaining, when I like read some books and stuff that were talking about Flow State. And I'm like, oh yeah, I do this. Or I don't even mean to, but I do, like I have a pretty easy way of just going from a kind of goofy, having fun, letting loose into like just blocking everything out, going horse blinders and like, okay, this is the task at hand. And then when that ends, just going straight back to like, yeah, just goofing around and having fun. And I don't know if that's just how I am or like from my childhood or I don't know. Because I never knew about it really until I was, people were bringing it up a couple of years ago or like reading books on it, so it's kind of funny for me because I'm like, I think that's the only thing I know.
That's a really good thing to be able to tap into.
Yeah, it's just because I know if I'm joking around having fun before something serious, I know that I'm in a good state of mind, and then I can just like wash away everything and like click right in. Like same with like Natty Select last year in Revelstoke. I was having so much fun. We were bumping like music in the cat. I was on the aux. I'm like, dude, I'm having such a fun day. Like nothing can mess with me today. And I just kind of knew that going into the day. I'm like, damn, I'm feeling super good and having a bunch of fun, which goes back to like, you want to be having fun, but fun can also be equating to like, you're going into like a serious thing, you want to be like letting loose. You want to be in like a relaxed state. Right. And then you can really plug into what you're capable of. I feel like if you're like nervous and tense, you're not really going to be like riding the way that you want to be, like if you're letting loose and having fun, that's when you're like in that flow state. Cause you're just letting your body do what it knows how to do. Like everything in snowboarding is muscle memory. Like I'm going to front seven this cliff. Like how many front sevens have I done? How big's the cliff? It's 30 feet. Like I'm going to spin this fast off the lip. You just kind of like know those things from doing 1,000 front sevens your whole life. So if you're having a good time before, I just feel like it helps you click in. I think I just have a easier time than some might just clicking into that, but it's definitely interesting. And I love watching sports documentaries. I'm watching like the Beckham documentary. I've watched it like 5 times. Jordan documentary. I've watched it like 5 times because I love just watching people do great things.
I mean, if you want to be in that category, if you want to be hanging with the greats,
you want your number retired.
Yeah, you want to retire the fucking 99. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you want that fucking honor behind your fucking boarding, there's going to be a small group of people that in 10, 20 years, people still talk about the impact they had.
Because that's so much of filming a video part is like, you got to push yourself. You got to be doing tricks that are progressive or riding lines that are gnarly, but then it's your job to put in like your own flair. Like, are you going to get that method clip? Are you going to put that funny lifestyle in that everyone's like, oh damn, you're so funny, and everyone just clicks into that. It's like old robot food movies weren't the craziest progression, but they were so funny and everyone latched on to them. Had great soundtracks, had a good song, and so there's so much that goes into it. But yeah, the forefront will definitely always be progression, but you can also just mix in style and mix in lifestyles and the music and how it's filmed and colored and all that goes into it, It's into a video part.
50% of it, maybe in today's world, almost more than 50% goes into the editing. Like if you're snowboard,
the back end
is so big right now because everything progressive has been done. Like we're at what 20 what's our spin we're at right now?
Yeah, 2160s. I heard someone try to 2340 in Stubai.
Hell yeah, Stubai.
Stubai, dude.
Stubai.
Crazy. Stubai. Yeah, but yeah, you see, and you can watch an iPhone clip of someone doing like a 2160 and whatever, it'll go viral. But then you watch like Mikkel Bang do like a switchback 5 with like on 16 millimeter in Hemsedal, and that just makes you. It has its own place in time, right? And you keep going back to that, and you're like, dude, that Hemsedal session, or like that hip session, or whatever that forum step down moment, or like how, and it's like, oh, it was filmed this certain way, it's edited to that track this certain way, like that lives in my head, and like maybe we're the niche part of that now, but like those, I think there's those will always be the most important part of snowboarding is you know, how the video part's laid out, what's the track, how it's filmed. Cause you can go, I mean, I see it when I was so guilty of it, like starting to film backcountry. I'm like, I'm going to back 10 this small jump or something. And you're like, maybe a front 3 stale would be cooler on that. You know, and you kind of learn and you grow, but you watch contest riders come into filming and they're like, oh, I'm going to front double 10 this thing. I don't want to watch you front double 10 that. I want to watch you front double 10 a 120-foot jump because I know you can. I want to see you like switchback rodeo this thing. Or like a big shifty or something if it's that small and film it really well. Where like we're getting into the weeds of just like nerdy snowboard video editing or filming, but like it's just tasteful, you know?
And I think that if you're just an average Joe boarder, most people that are still involved in snowboarding are inspired by those individuals who go out into the backcountry and do tricks that are slightly relatable on unrelatable features.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like,
yeah. And in the streets too. Like, I mean, it's like you're watching Tommy Gesme do like a backtail 270. And you're like, dude, I want to hit that so bad. Like, I ain't got that though. I don't got the juice like that, Tommy. I don't got the juice like that, Tommy. So yeah, it's like, but you watch how like Colton Feldman fills that and you're like, damn, that was so sick. It just like lives in your head, you know?
Big time. Like that's where like knowing what contest tricks play in the backcountry in a good light. Like you were saying, like if you're hitting a huge jump, massive. It's like that 80-foot plus marker and it's calling for your 12 because it's, you know, maybe it's been destroyed already or whatever. You want to put your mark. Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that there's a certain level of rotation that doesn't need to exist in the backcountry?
That's interesting. I never really thought about that because I think there's like a couple of 14s have been done, like Torstein, McMo, maybe like a Andreas Wig or something. I think it all comes down to the right jump. Like if someone did like a 14 or 16 on like 120-foot death gap, I'd be rocking with it for sure. Like, yo, that's psychotic. And especially if the next clip's like a tasteful switchback rodeo. I'm like, oh, they got both, you know? I think that would be where it is. Like if you just do that, it's kind of like, it's cool. You can do that off any jump, you know, but if you can do it on the right jump, I think that's nice.
In your eyes, what separates the average boarder in today's world, also known as like the Instagram boarder, which I mean, it is weird that maybe professional snowboarding and the way that we've looked at it, Snowboarder Mag, Trans World, 411 Snow, Robot Food, that whole lane is becoming the hyper niche and the other thing is taking over.
Yeah. I mean, Instagram snowboarding it's definitely huge and it's definitely prevalent, but you don't feel anything from it. Like, or it's just like forgetful.
It's kind of like watching funny cat videos.
That's it. Insane, but such a good way to put it. Cause it's not like emblazoned in your memory, you know? Cause I feel like people trip all the time. I think when people if there is like a new Instagram snowboarder kind of getting big or getting a lot of love and like, dude, they're getting so many followers, they're getting, you know, their videos are going viral. You're like, yeah, but like, is it going to stand the test of time? Like, dude, no. You know, I mean, like, I think we probably are like more in the niche market of watching video parts and stuff. But like, you watch a Rene that just put Heaven out, and it's going crazy on YouTube right now. It's kind of appealing to everyone. Everyone's kind of like, oh, this is like this is a really good video, filmed really well with tasteful tricks, and like everyone's getting down on it. And so I think there's those moments that kind of transcend both, but you can always go get 1 million views doing like a toe side turn on Instagram or something. But like, it's just that you're not going to feel anything from that. You know, you're not going to get very far for a long time just doing that. And I feel like the internet's always shifting. Like you never know what's going to come next, you know, but I do think that video parts will always stand the test of time, and like filming a movie and putting hard work into something like will stand the test of time. But you gotta, I think in today's era, you gotta make sure it's really, really good to stand the test of time, because there is so many videos out there there's iPhone clips, there's Instagram snowboarders, there's how many movies come out every year. You got to make sure that yours is a little bit special if you want to stand the test of time.
An interesting way to look at all that is like if you look at like a grand master of like martial arts or something like that, or a grand master at like filming, like Steven Spielberg, those type of people, the people that are the best in their fields. If you were doing martial arts, would you not want one of the best people in the world, like the fucking sensei grand master? Like if he's like, I fuck with this guy, and he gives you that stamp of approval, like that feels good. Steven fucking Spielberg goes, yo, Sage, great film. That feels
That's gonna
good.
mean something to you.
And it's important in all aspects of life to want to seek some level of approval by the greats who have helped write what that thing is that you're doing. If some nana who's really good at making fucking meatballs one day says like you dialed it in, those are good meatballs. Like it means something when somebody who's a great at what they do says, yo,
gives you the nod of approval.
Gives you the fucking nod. It means something. And Instagram removes the nod. And when you don't have the nod incorporated, you have fucking the not nod.
Yeah, you got the nod. You ain't nodded.
You ain't nodded.
You're not nodded.
Nobody nodded.
You're not nodded.
And if nobody nods, that's part of the nod group.
I think it's so important to keep whoever you think your grade is. It doesn't, because everyone's going to have a different grade. But I think it's so important to keep them on like a bit of a pedestal, you know, where you do keep remembering their tricks they did, their video parts or their contest run, whatever it is, because you're ushering that into existence. You're like speaking it into existence where like this is how you method. Like you're watching like a Mueller or a Hawkinson. You're like, or like a Jamie Lynn. It's like this matters how you method because of these guys right here. Or like this, you know, this is how you do. You watch Roman's part in Vivid, you know, and he's got the Radiohead song. He's got the camo kit with the pink belt, pink top sheet. I'm like, that's straight in. I'm always remembering that clip, and it's the heli shot. He does like the backside tail tap on the way in, and it does like the sickest back one ever. And you're like, that's how you make a video part stand the test of time. So I think just always putting those at a bit of a pedestal and be like, this is why it's important, because it can stand the test of time, because Vivid came out 21 years ago or whatever, and that we're still talking about it here. That's why. And if that's not a reason enough for you, then like you're probably not about snowboard culture.
Yeah, and if you remove all of the history of snowboarding, if you just remove everything that got us here and you just are like, fuck the lineage, it's like that is the most disrespectful. That's basically like saying like, fuck your grandfather, your great-grandfather, your great-great-grandfather, everybody who's worked so hard for you to have this amazing experience of snowboarding, and you just slap all those people in the face and go like, fuck them all, dude. You can do it any way you want. It's like, yes, you can, but it's still nice to respect someone like Jamie Lynn and Brian Iguchi.
They put us on the map.
Yeah, and like what they've done for, like, the reason why we have such a cool, awesome culture is because of those individuals. And to say like they don't matter and what they did doesn't matter is disrespect. Yeah. And I'm all about respecting elders that deserve your respect, and Jamie Lynn deserves our respect.
Straight up. Yeah, I mean, they were just putting it up in a time where, I mean, snowboarding could have gone a bunch of different ways, and snowboarding has gone a bunch of different ways. Like snowboarding, I've been kind of saying this, like snowboarding is massive. Like millions of people do it. Like let that sink in. And we're seeing every part of it because the internet is so big. But it's like you go to Baker, you're seeing one scene, but you go to like a Vail, Colorado, and you're like, whoa, this is a completely other scene. And you know, these people are maybe just riding as like more civilians, and they ain't watching Jamie Lynn footage. But it's important for like if those people are watching snowboarding, because they're gonna go watch a snowboard video probably when they go on their trip. You know, like, oh, I want to watch someone like riding around Colorado. It's like important for them to see the right footage. So they're like, oh, okay.
Introduce.
Yeah, and like, oh, this is how you wear your gear. Like this is the brands that like these people rock with, and I'm gonna buy those. And then they're like, oh, I want to learn frontside 360s. Like this is how you grab. This is where you can grab. And then they're learning more about snowboarding, and they're learning about the culture of it, and I just think it's important for those people, if they do look into snowboarding, they're not looking at kooky shit. Like that's kind of why I started a YouTube. Like me and Jerem were like, we got to make a YouTube, and I ain't making vlogs. Got nothing like totally against them or anything. Like vlogs, you do your own thing, but I'm just like, I want you, when you come to my YouTube channel, to just watch badass snowboarding. And that's working, I guess. I don't know, like people are down with it, and people are always saying that they're liking the behind the scenes of like a jump build or something. But like for us, the most important thing is just when you come to the channel, you're watching dope snowboarding, and it's done well, it's filmed nice, and like that's what's important to us. It might not be important to everyone, but that's important to us.
Like quick plug here, you actually have a full on behind the scenes of Chad's Gap.
Yeah,
on your
like,
YouTube
yeah,
channel.
and like we didn't really film the behind the scenes. We just kind of like put the raw video up of like, yeah, we built it a little bit. There's some clips of us chucking up some wedges, but we're not like, yo, what's up? We're here at Chad's Gap. Like, watch us build this jump, and then we're gonna hit it. It's 120 feet. Like we're just like, we're shooting the shit, building it, and then you're at the drop in, and it's like you kind of feel the heaviness in the moment. I think those are cool to see. Like I like watching behind the scenes that way, but I'm not really on YouTube watching too many vlogs and stuff.
It's wild now because it's the first time that everybody with a phone who's trying to create content, and now that 98% of the world is trying to create content now.
Yeah, I mean
everybody's
we got to get some content. Like,
Who's
brands hit you up like, yeah, we're looking for content.
Content.
And you're like, what is it? You're like, yeah,
You're
just
going
like,
to sleep and content.
waking up, content.
And it's
Yeah, and I just think making if you can just make compelling, authentic content is, if you can at least do that, then I think you're walking away good.
Oh, because you brought up Roman's like snowboarding, and we were going through pop.
Yeah, some history.
The front side 9 to switchback 7 heli follow. You remember that line?
Is it in Vivid?
No, that
or
one's
is
in
it
pop.
Ramon? Oh, in Ramon's part.
Yeah, he's got a front side 9
to switch. Oh, and is it
heli?
Hemsedal? Something?
No, it's like AK front 9 from the top, and then fucking riding through the chop because it's fucking
switchback
pow.
7, like two hands off the lip, like dragging them.
Oh yeah, we're going early 2000 switchback 7.
Hinging at the waist.
It's kind of a switchback 5, goes way too big, stomps the shit out of it. Though.
Yeah, I do know the clip you're talking about. It's
Roman,
full, like,
you're psycho.
Hand drag off the lip, hinge at the waist. Yeah, so sick.
Okay, so we got a couple big events coming up in the near future here. We got natural selection, and we also have the Olympics. Let's touch on natural selection first. Are you going back?
I am going back to Natty Select. Earned my spot last year, I guess. Got the top 8, so got the automatic invite back, that was nice. I feel like every time going into it, like, okay, just make it past the first round. Like try to get past the first round, but I was up against Craven, so I was a little scared.
The lumberjack who built the course?
Yeah, I was like, damn, dude, give me some pointers down this thing. But no, I love Craven. I have a bunch of fun there. Kind of scratches the contest itch for me because leaving competing, I was just like I think if I went back, I would have competed longer, but I just wasn't in the right headspace for it, And I was like young and kind of got flung into like a place that I didn't really like after the Olympics. And now I can scratch that contest itch going to Natty Select and like busting down. So like at the top, I'm like, dude, it's so good to be back, like in a vest now, like this is awesome.
I mean, my favorite thing about last year's natural selection is Travis Rice riding to the bottom and all of you going beanie over helmet. I know that subject has been butchered.
No, it's
but
so good.
We haven't got to talk about it here in the
Yeah.
airtime. I hear it on the bomb hole all the time, but that fucking clip is insane. Just T. Ricky coming to the bottom, and I don't know who it is. It's like
me and Jared,
yeah,
dude.
just like beanie over helmets, like greeting Travis after his run.
He comes down. We have beanie over helmet, me and Jared. And we're quoting like Art of Flight, and that's it. That's all. And he's looking at us like, dude, what is up with these kids? And we're just like, this is the coolest moment ever, dude.
What a legend for thinking of that event and then bringing it to life.
Yeah, I think natural
Insane.
selection is It is the most important event in snowboarding right now. It's like, it's the most authentic event. And it's the one that, I mean, when it happens, you can feel, or like, I'm always there, so it's hard to feel what's really going on. But just from the messages and stuff I get, I'm like, oh, people are like stopping what they're doing and watching this event, which that ain't happening at X Games anymore. That ain't happening at these like World Cups. That isn't happening anywhere else. And I hope I hope it stays like that. Because for the riders, I think it's really fun. I mean, it's definitely been like, it's tough with growing pains. They started during COVID and like, it's been, you know, there was 3 events. Now we're back to 1 and everything's live though this year. And I think it's going to be crazy. I mean, Revy's stacking up right now. And I feel like it's kind of going to be that like pivotal year.
Yeah. I mean, the community that you bring together at Natural Selection, you bring at least my favorite snowboarders from all different areas of the world together.
Yeah.
And unlike every other contest where you give everybody the knuckles, maybe see them at a bar a couple nights before, and now with contests, like nobody's going out the night before because the level is so high. So everybody is chilling, stretching, like doing their routine
on the legs.
Yeah, totally like mellow.
Namaste.
Nobody's going rogue party guy.
Yeah, and everyone's, because we're there a couple days before we do the scout check of the course, which like for everyone who doesn't know, we basically do a day of, we can't ride through the course, but you can ride on the sides and kind of hike in the trees and see some features. And we get these drone shots and everyone's more or less trying to all figure it out together, but you also don't know who you're paired up against yet. So you're kind of like, what up with that feature? You rocking with that one? Like, yeah, this line looks sick. And you're kind of like, all right, word. Like, Elston's trying to hit that thing, you know, and then you do the pairing, and then that's when it starts. It's like, oh shit, dude, I'm against Craven right now. Like, no.
Hey, do you see the thing that looks like a perfect backside hip into that other fresh double? Oh yeah, we're all looking at that shit.
Yeah. Oh, everyone's looking at that. Okay, cool. And then you get paired. You're dropping last. You're like, all right, well, I ain't hitting that thing anymore. Got to better find out a different way down this hill.
Unless you're Nils, you're like, I'm going in blind, back 5 into all the tracks.
Yeah,
don't matter.
7 mid lap, dude. Last year we were so funny. Like riding with Nils at Brighton. He just rode switch all year.
I did 1 lap top to bottom. I was like, this fucking cowboy is gonna fucking win. This guy is
so
insane.
Nasty. He's so nasty. Yeah, Nils is board control. Like speaking about like respecting someone's craft. Watch Nils's board control, like his takeoffs, like how he rides down a mountain. Like, dude, this guy knows how to snowboard.
Oh yeah. I
mean, he's won Baker Banks, switch, and normal. Like the dude can ride a shtick.
Is he good at pipe?
Oh yeah,
every good. If you want to be great, I say this all the
Get in the pipe.
Get in the pipe, people.
Get in the pipe.
I grew up in Winnipeg. No pipe. You can
No
tell.
pipe.
You can tell. No pipe rider.
You can see it. Yeah,
you can see it.
Yeah, it is crazy how like pipe is the one pipe when you translate it into like backcountry free riding, they're so good at getting down the mountain. Might not have all the tricks, but like a slope style rider is like not maybe as good as like the fluidity of getting down the mountain, but they got the tricks. And it's cool. It's cool. Just neither is like better or worse, but it's just cool to see it's cool to watch someone's history of their snowboarding and then see how they just as they grow up and like transition to say like backcountry riding or something and like how they see the mountain. It's like, oh, this person was like slope style heavy. This person was like rail heavy back in the day and got into it. This person was riding pipe, and you see that nil. You're like, this guy knows how to ride a snowboard.
Yeah, the pipe's a funny one. You see like Arthur Longo, Kazu Kokobo, Jake Blauvelt, Pat Moore, like the Jackson brothers. Like every one of those dudes, Danny Cass. You're like, oh,
if you're watching this and you're young and you ain't hitting the pipe, straight go to one of those training camps at ASAP.
You're gonna be running a podcast just like Joey over here. You're gonna be real stressed out. You're gonna get migraines.
You're gonna get migraines. You have anxiety.
Oh my God, yeah. But I agree. Natural selection is a great thing. My favorite thing is that when everybody gets together, you can really see that like people that came on day one who weren't close friends, didn't really know each other. We're all pro snowboarders. Hey, what up? By the end, it's like a week of hanging out with people.
Yeah.
So you see them before the contest, during, afterwards for a couple days, And then
people
you
are like
see
linking
people,
up and filming together afterwards.
and now
too.
it's
cool.
like you see a lot of those people that are like friends,
Yeah.
and they do it in Revelstoke, and the riders are all hanging out in Revy, and the locals get to meet and hang out with everybody, and
It's
it's just
cool.
like
It's
there's
such a good scene.
Yeah, it's such
and
a
I
good
think
scene.
This year they're letting everyone come to the bottom, I think, and there's going to be like a jumbotron and stuff at the bottom to watch. I think it'll be watching in person this year is probably going to be pretty cool.
Is there anything, we went over some pros there. Are there any cons right now in the format? Or is there anything that you would like to see change for NST? Are you and a group of other snowboarders in the hotel room after, like, dude, this keeps happening year after year. What the fuck?
It's mostly just like Jody's judging, really, but no.
Dude,
no.
I'm a low tier judge. I have a lot to say.
My score's getting thrown out every time.
Every judge is the same tier except for Connor because he's the head judge. So it's
Yeah. No, I think for most riders, it was just like bringing both days live, because that's when it's tape delayed, you just don't have that energy, So I think most people, it's just like having the both days live, which is going to happen this year. And then, I mean, having like winning the Rivian or the Skidoo last year was like pretty insane. Like everyone was kind of, prize money wasn't very good, and they brought that in. And I was like, I mean, you can win a $100,000 car, or the first day, if you get highest score, you get a $25,000 sled. Like pretty damn good. So yeah, it's exciting to see where NST is going. I think like the riding's just going to get better. It's going to get crazy. I think, and people are going to ride that face again. And I mean, we got like a taste of it last year. Now we're going to have like 2 days on it. It's going to go down.
I feel like for anybody who's won the Olympics, which you've done, and not a lot of people can say that, their whole vibe is they want to win natural selection. But if you haven't won the Olympics or natural selection, which one do you think is more important? Which one would you, if you didn't win either, which you've already won the Olympics, you're going to say natural selection right now. Hypothetically speaking, which one has more weight to you?
I think it's just where you're at in your career. Like early on, I'd be like, dude, I want to win the Olympics.
You want to be on the cereal box.
Yeah, you're like, dude, look at the eyes that get on you at the Olympics. And you're just like, you're riding slope or big air or pipe. Like that's your life. And then now if you're like riding backcountry, it's like NST is so important. It's like, okay, if I can go against, and it's head to head. It's not just like, that I think is the strongest point of NST is the head to head. Frustrating when you get knocked out because you're just like, damn, I could have beat this other person or something, and you're looking at scores and comparing runs. But I think that's what makes it cool, that you got to get through 4 other riders to win, and they ain't going to back down. So you got to get past the first round. Then you got the second round, then you got semis, then you got to duke it out with some of the finals to take the W. And you just got to be that's talking about flow state. Like, I mean, when it was going into the Jackson one that I won, it was like super bad snow in Utah. And I was just riding park all day. We were riding woodies like every day, like not touching soft snow. And I was tripping going in there because I was like, dude, I haven't ridden any POW really. I kind of hope it's like not very good conditions. And we show up and it's like 6 inches on crust. And I'm like, oh, this is a slope contest. I'm like, dude, let's go. I can put runs together. And I just remember on the finals day, I went against Ferg, Mickle, and then Jared in the finals. And I was like, I'm not going to fall a day. Like I remember doing these days when I was competing, and my coach back then, Bill Enos, was like, try to go all day without falling. It's not about what tricks you do, is do not fall today, and see how many days in a row you could go without falling. And so I kind of just like went back into that mindset. I'm like, I ain't falling. And I didn't fall once that whole day. And it was just like flow state. I was like, get back to top. What should I do? I'm going to add a switchback 5 in. All right, word. Do the back 5 before that. Like, what are you going to do? I'm going to cab 9 this jump. Like, all right. You've done that a million times on a park jump. Like, it's basically a park out there. Like, you got this. And it just all like made sense. Sometimes those moments just like kind of like outlier. If you've read that book, it's like, all these little moments make up to this one big moment kind of. And it was like riding park all year, I was just doing all these tricks in the park. And then we got there and I'm like, oh, the conditions suck. I'm like, oh, game on. Like, here we go. Where if I was riding a bunch of good snow and POW and just doing front 3s and stuff, I don't think I would have done as good.
Do you ride in a way where at the beginning of the year you do easy tricks, get your stock going and then like create this snowball energy and then you kind of like work towards your harder tricks? Or do you start the year off like
For a video part or just in general?
in general, like riding the park? I heard a pro skater, forget his name, talking about this recently, but he was talking about when he was filming his part. I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Shane O'Neill. I want to say it was Shane O'Neill. And he's talking about like at the beginning of the year doing his like stock tricks.
Boom.
Easy
Just getting
stick, like
stuff.
switch flip. You know, just get your clips and then you build your momentum off those.
I think that's the
I
move.
think that's a good strategy.
No, 100%. I mean, I do that filming a bunch. Like when we start filming, I just want to get used to getting clips. I'm not going to be like, oh, I want to get this,
Back 12.
Yeah, back 12 first go. Or like, I guess when we were filming real snow, it was definitely kind of like that. You're like, all right, just try all your biggest tricks right now. But when you're filming a video part, it's so nice. Like, I'm going to get this switchback one. And you might not even use it in the end, but you're just like, you're stacking clips and you're getting like confident. And just like, I can do anything right now. And it just, your confidence gets so high that eventually you're just like, I can do anything on my board right now. Come March or April when you're trying to like bag like I don't know, some line or a jump or a double stack or a natty back 7 or something. You're just like, oh, of course I got this right now. Like, why wouldn't I? I have 30 tricks in my part right now. I'm going to add another one today.
Have you ever picked a song for your video part the year before and rode the whole year with the intention to use that song?
I've heard of people doing that.
Yeah.
You have a whole vibe. We kind of have that. We're going to make a movie this year. We actually have this track that we want to use in it, and it is kind of like becoming our vibe right now. I can see that happening to us right now.
Is it like the migraine song I showed you today?
It's just like a ethereal mix, actually.
Dude, I was listening to... Okay, so for those that don't know, we're going to fill you in a little second.
Yeah.
I had a migraine that was...
It was an ordeal.
It was an ordeal. It was the thing. It was super annoying. If you get migraines, DM me and let me know your secrets and your hacks or whatever. But anyways, so I was riding today, and I was like, I need to get out of bed. I need to get some fresh air. I need to go snowboarding, which, by the way, really helped. Just moving the body, getting some fresh air. I made sure I stopped every couple laps for some water, and I was listening to, on Spotify, a playlist that said migraine playlist.
It was looking sick.
And I had the best day ever.
You were in flow state.
I was in flow. I was flow state.
Yeah,
like
you were in
y'all.
flow state.
I tried to dumb down how much fun I was having, but I was having a good day.
Sick. I mean, if you can have fun on a day like today too, and that's been my theme all year too. Not to like derail this convo a little bit, but like if you can go up on like a pretty icy park day and have a blast, like you're in a good state of mind for riding. If you go up there and like take one lap, like, dude, it's not perfect, I'm out. It's like you got to get back to the basics, like be a little kid again. You're like, dude, I want to go just like bust down with my friends. We had a huge crew today. There's like rocks on the run. It's icy and stuff. I'm like, we ripped like 10 laps. We were having a blast. If you can have fun on days like that, then it's like when it's that POW day with your homies or you're out filming, you get that clip, you're on the moon.
And
nothing can stop me.
East Coasters and people who were born on the rope tow. I bring up this analogy all the time, but we call it if you can see the ice block. So if you can see the ice block that everybody overlooks, like that's a feature. And you're just rolling by. You're like, there's a dumb ice block. Like,
I'm gonna,
dude, you could tail tap
Wally
that thing.
back one or something.
Dude, you could jump onto that thing and slide down the hill on it. You could the options are endless. You could nollie full cab over that thing. You could do a little tail tap, whatever.
Yeah,
but
letting the mountain like really, really just be a playground for you. Like you're like zigzagging in and out of stuff. You're hitting side hits. You're like, yeah, that's what snowboarding's all about.
I think that when it's super icy out, if you got to slow down the boarding to reflect the day's conditions.
So
true.
If it's a good way of putting it.
You gotta go over to the side bank that's all icy, and you gotta go real slow, and you gotta just do an axle stall. You just shove your edge into the bank.
Do 180 out or something.
Totally,
Like,
so sick. Ride away like Lucas Magoon, and it's a great day.
Yeah,
it's gotta get your shiver on.
That's what you do when you're a kid, because you're just like, okay, it's icy as shit. Like I'm gonna go try some little things over here, and that's how you learn how to like butter and do. That's how you get your basics down so good, and your fundamentals and your edging, and it's good to do that early season. I've been trying to just ride as much as I can. Like it's been bad in Utah. I think I have like 16, 17 days on hill in Utah. I'm just like having a blast.
Dude, you're riding the little like Mark Frank Montoya to
little
cab
dead long.
5. Oh, dude, that was a sick run.
Yeah, it was
There's
fun.
no way that didn't feel good.
No, it's feeling amazing.
Cab 5 donkey
Yeah.
like it's 2005, just
Straight
dunking
dunking
that
dude.
flip.
That's trick's fun.
The cab cork 5, dude.
So fire.
Dude, we need to throw cork more back. If you
Yeah,
read-
go corkscrew.
It's the corkscrew and the cork maneuver.
Bring a cork back.
I like the corks.
I'm gonna go front 7 cork.
Yeah, I'm gonna
cork
really dunk it.
Yeah, I'm gonna cork it on this.
I
one.
have complete control. It's not because I'm just fucking looping out.
It's not because of my bad slopestyle, not pipe fundamentals. It's actually just because I'm gonna dunk this one.
Which event did you find more stressful? Natural selection or the Olympics? Which one were you putting more pressure on yourself?
For sure, in the time the Olympics. When I was going into the Olympics, actually, I was 20. I was pretty concerned of what people thought about me, and there was now the Olympics snowboarding in the Olympics is just ingrained in each other because there's been so many of them. But in 2014, there was still the argument of just should snowboarding even be in the Olympics, and there was kind of like some just turmoil around, and I was knocking heads at the events. I thought I was just kind of like a little bit of a punk for sure. And I almost straight up didn't go to I almost stopped in the qualifiers or the qualification process and didn't go. And I remember talking to my parents about it, my agent, I was like, Pierre Wickberg was filming me. And I remember just being like, why should I even go? Like, this is whack. I don't think snowboarding should be in the Olympics. So I was listening to what everyone else was saying because they're like, dude, you should just, like, if you guys boycott it, you'd be so cool. And I'm like, yeah, Terrier did it, dude. That's so sick. And I was just letting all these outside influences influence me. And at the end of the day, I was like, man, no, I want to go to the Olympics. I watched it in 2002. I watched Heikki Sorsa and Danny Cass and all them were my favorite snowboarders after that. Like, I'm going to the Olympics. And once I got out of that state of mind where I was like, no, I'm going to boycott it or this and that. And I just actually went true to myself and was like, I want to go to the Olympics. I want to do this. I want to like put snowboarding. I want to ride the way I want to do it at the Olympics and put it on the map, and whatever, so be it. And once I started getting that state of mind, I was having a bunch of fun. But the qualification process was mad stressful because I was just listening to what other people were saying. I think if I have one piece of advice right now for like younger riders is to like really be true to yourself. What other people think is cool or outside influence, like just do what you really back and you'll never look back with regret. Cause there's definitely moments during that time I was fully doing things because other people were saying it was cool or they thought this was whack and stuff. I'm like, dude, you gotta just rip for yourself. Like if you're ripping for yourself and riding every day for yourself, then having a great time doing it, you're never going to look back and be bummed.
Well said. Trying to live up to other people's expectations as someone who also did that.
Most people do.
There-
99% of people
I would say there was
probably do.
3 people in my life from when I was in high school until I was about 28. That I think there's probably 3 people that stand out as people I really wanted them to like me. I wanted to be enrolled in their club. And when not everyone's going to fucking like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that
Just because we snowboard doesn't
relationship
mean,
was
like, we need to be
exhausting.
good friends.
Yeah, it was. I
It's
remember,
exhausting,
I
like you
remember
said.
getting older and just being like, I don't need to be friends with that person. Like, I liked the idea of us being friends more than the reality of actually being friends with that person is. And
Getting the acknowledgement, like, oh, we're friends. Like,
yeah,
oh, okay. It's not. It doesn't live up to what's in your head, or like pleasing someone just because you think they're cool. It's a tricky part for sure. But I think as you grow older, I stopped caring what people think about me. Like that was when I started riding better. That started with just being happier as a person, like off board too. You care what everyone thinks. It's the easiest thing to say is like, oh, I don't care what people think about you. But truly, like these people that don't know you as they're not on your day to day, not getting breakfast with them. And it's not to say like screw them or anything, but you shouldn't listen to their opinion 24/7.
Yeah, I heard.
Or try to live up to what they might think of you. Like, oh, Sage is whack. Like, I mean, maybe I probably am.
I heard some,
like,
I heard
I don't
somebody
know.
fucking talking on the Huberman fucking podcast
Yep, great
about
podcast.
this. I think he was talking about skateboarding because he comes from a skate background.
Yeah,
but he had somebody
yeah.
that came from like a bike or something like that background or
Right.
anyways, and they were both talking about when you're going to do something and you're going to drop in front of everybody, people are actually spending more time thinking about what they're going to do and their approach and then thinking about you. You know what I mean? People are more wrapped up about themselves than you. So a lot of times when you're like, I don't want to try the 540 because everyone's watching me and they're going to laugh. The person that's behind you is thinking about their trick, what they're going to do, and if everybody's going to laugh at them.
Yeah.
Like, they're not thinking about
No,
your,
it's a trick.
if you flip and do the front five and land or don't land, like, there'll be a moment where that person acknowledges that. Then they'll go right back into, like,
'Cause they're in
everyone's
the
looking
same
at
state of
me.
mind. Yeah,
and
'cause
and everyone's in the
it's a
same
chain
state of
reaction.
mind. And
That's
nobody
crazy,
gives a
yeah.
fuck.
I never really thought about it like that. It's a super good way to look at it though, because yeah, I mean, a lot of people have this. Yeah, when you step up to that jump or something, you're like, oh, everyone's watching me. Like, everyone's just there because they're trying to hit the jump too. They're not there to just watch you. Like, they're trying to also do a front three or a back five or learn a new trick. And if you stomp in front of them, like, oh, that person did it, like, I'm gonna do it too. you might teach them something, you know?
It definitely hinders your learning. Like, if
If you're so worried about, I mean, that's why so many people don't try things that they might suck at, because they don't want to be bad at something. And I felt like I was doing that with like surfing or stuff. You know, I'm like, I don't want to go. I kind of suck, you know? And I'm like, duh, you're from Utah, dude. Of course you suck at surfing. Like, you're like, no shit, dude. And then you lose that and you're like, if it's like crowded out in the lineup, I'm like, yo, what up? Yeah, I suck. I don't know. You probably know because you're watching me paddle flounder my way out here. Like, you know I suck at surfing. And then you can just go have fun and like you catch that wave. I'm like, yo, I'm straight Machado on this thing right now, dude. I've like got the worst steez ever, but I'm like, oh damn, I was like flying on that wave. And yeah, just stepping away from like thinking, just letting your mind go to like, oh, everyone's watching me, everyone's judging me, or everyone's gonna laugh at me if I fail at this. It's like, who cares? Like, you gotta go get it, you know? You gotta go get that wave.
Yeah, dude, the human experience is for everybody.
Yeah, and like and then everyone else is trying to have a good time too. You know, like deep down, like everyone's just trying to have a good time out there in life.
Rasman's got a cool story about me. Not to derail, I forget.
Derail the convo.
We're going light
absolute derail this
but
thing
this
right now.
story's kind of dope and it makes sense for what we're talking about. So we're in Hawaii. I suck at surfing, and I own the one thing that I own in life is that I suck at surfing, and I don't care who knows it. I don't care about carrying my board cool or my leash cool. I'm from
Boxers under boardies.
I am from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I am surfing in Hawaii, and everybody knows.
So dope. That's amazing.
And we get into the water, and Chris just says that like there's a bunch of Hawaiians in there that, I mean, I'm imagining they're often confronted from people like me from the middle of Winnipeg, Manitoba, who show up to somewhere like Hawaii, who act like and try to play the part of a good or an intermediate surfer.
Right.
And it's probably refreshing for them to meet someone like me who's like, hey, I'm a kook, but I'm doing it respectfully. Like, I'm giving them...
Like, I'm going to be over here.
I'm going to be over here. I'm not going to fucking get in your way. I'm not that dumb. I have respect for the water.
Totally.
And I understand the
You
basic
understand
rules.
the ethics of it,
The
yeah.
ethics, because I have respect for the culture, because I'm not an asshole.
Yep.
But I'm also like, I'm a kook.
I am a goon out here in the
and
water.
Raz was like, dude, every one of those Hawaiians in the water, and we're in Kauai, which is like, it's like,
oh, it can get gnarly for sure.
For sure. And Raz was, and because Chris grew up surfing there, he was like, dude, everyone was giving you the nod. Everyone
That's
was like,
so rad.
get that guy a wave. Like, he knows he's a kook. He's doing everything. If you're a kook
And they want
like
to help
me,
you get a wave at that point.
you got to
know?
kook respectfully.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to be a kook, you got to be a respectful one. Yeah. But I think that circles back to just like, yeah, you know, you understand the culture of surfing enough to be like, yeah, I'm not just going to go to the point in the lineup and just go shoulder to shoulder with someone and try to smoke them on a wave, and then you blow it and they're like, what is this person doing here? You're like, I'm going to go sit on the side and kind of just be like, yeah, I'm gonna get mine, and eventually someone's gonna, dude, like, let's get this guy a wave, you know? I mean, not every time, but you're putting out that energy.
Yeah, I'm putting out the energy that I'm a kook and I would like a wave.
Yeah, like, hey, toss a burger my way,
It's
boys.
a big flight to get here. Big flight.
Winnipeg. Yeah.
Would love one wave.
Cheeseburger comes in your guys' way, just throw it mine, dude.
100%. All right, so we got a new little section of the show here presented by K2. Thank you for supporting the show.
We love you.
Both of us ride for K2,
Yeah.
which is great.
It's nice.
They make great boards. You designed a board. Maybe let's derail. Let's give a spotlight for a quick second. You designed a board, the Antidote, which I ride.
Yep.
Belzil rides it as well. With Jay Stone, the wizard, who works at K2.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about that board. What was the reasoning behind the design and your approach with that kind of board for a suitable mountain ripper?
Yeah. We started looking at designing the Antidote, and K2 gave the nod on basically just kind of green lighting whatever like me and Jay Stone really wanted, which was cool because there was a glass ceiling. It was kind of like, yeah, bust through that thing, see where you guys get. And we started looking at, I was going to do natural selection. And so we started looking at the terrain I was going to be riding. Okay, big cliffs, big jumps, but some trees. You want something that can kind of handle some big dog riding. And so we came up with the Antidote. We kept it camber. There's no taper in it, but we had some 3D in the tail and the nose that you don't feel when you're on the hard pack, but it does give you a little bit of float when you're in powder, which is nice to get in and out of trees. But then, the no taper, you can still just stomp on anything. You can go switch on it. And just, you can take it to the park. You know, there's some like European park riders that are busting down on it, doing like 12s and 14s and stuff on it. And they're like, yeah, this is the move, you know? This is the board I ride. And it's kind of, all mountain ripper, definitely for like a more advanced rider, but like people have been loving it and people have been hyped, just like having it for their ATV board, you know, like, oh, I can go ride park, I can rip the mountain, but if it's a POW day, I'm also feeling good on it.
Yeah, I definitely feel like if you're somebody who's enjoys being a bit aggressive, so if you like speed, but you also want the agility to move quickly when the trees do come up, it's got like that low end power, like on a Skidoo, if you're on the 165 and you need to kind of zip around some trees quickly, it's got that low end ability because of the contact points being raised. I feel like it really allows you to zip in the power around trees. Like it's responsive.
And still, if you go hit something, you feel like you're on a board that's going to handle it.
Yeah, great board.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right. So when I say this is new, so bear with us, people. This is new. So what comes to mind when I say blank? Presented by K2.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
So when I say a 180.
Ramon DeMarchi Vivid.
Back one.
Back one.
Good one. Okay. Back lip.
Tommy Gesme.
Sled neck.
Brett Turcott.
Form 8.
JP Walker.
Tweak.
Slasnick.
Speed Demon.
Me.
Slam Lord.
Sam Taxwood.
Dude, the first time I ever met Tax, all white kid, Super Park.
Oh,
do you remember that year?
For sure.
So sick, dude.
Stacks
Jeff Rowley.
so sick.
Dude, so good.
He's awesome.
Nolly.
Skateboarding. That was wow.
No, totally. Party Goat.
Michael Wick.
Worst driver.
Spencer Whiting.
Is that Gimbal God? Great GoPro operator.
Yeah.
Horrible driver.
Scary driver.
Speed or slow?
I don't know, man.
Or flux capacitor.
He just kind of like, he's going, there's a lot going on in that, dude. He doesn't know where he's going.
Well, that went over really well.
That was fun.
Yeah,
that
was
nice.
fun. That was good.
harmless.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That it was quick.
It was quick
for both of us, but we both had a good time. I think we both finished with some good laughs.
We finished with some good laughs. That's all you can ask for.
Okay, which fashion trends are coming back in 2025 in the new year? What do you think?
Dude, Dustbox has been on some like John Cooley, Justin Hebel type, like kind of skinny. I don't know if they're sewing it in, but they got bell bottoms. Those are coming in heavy.
So kind of your look from when you win the Olympics.
Yeah, like a little bit of like Colorado boot flare going on, like unzipped up. That's definitely coming back. I'm probably staying away from it, but it's coming back.
Okay, are they going love hate, which was baggy tapered in bell bottoms, or are they going burning bridges when people started
Like
really
skinny,
sucking in
No,
the
I
knees?
think it's more like it's baggy-ish, but sucked in at the knee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
kind of like
love hate.
Haldor Helgeson love hate type of like vibe. Not
I can
really.
fuck with that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it would be refreshing. I would
sure.
rather, or maybe because it's your podcast, not mine, or I'm interviewing you. I don't know
your
why
podcast.
I went into a Mike Myers voice there, but I did. Would you rather pants get a little baggier or pants get a little tighter?
I mean, if you're gonna look at Instagram boarding, they got to slim that up. They got parachute pants on, but I don't know. I just don't really. When you're looking, I'm like always down for just whatever someone's rip. If they're like feeling that baggy kit, go off, man. That's sick. You're feeling that. Like,
The
that's
Young
what's
Dolly
up.
vibe?
The Young
Yeah.
Dolly. I love Young Dolly. Young Dolly's my dude.
Dude, I'm super
But,
down.
Yeah, but then you're like, oh, you're rocking with some like hemmed in pants. I'm like, sick. Like you're on that vibe. That's what's up. I'm not on it right now. I'm kind of just like an OG, like kind of baggy-ish, straight fit, kind of pretty like government issue, I guess.
I'm going to give a crown to Kale Zima for never changing.
Never changing. Yeah.
Kale Zima has just been
staying
like
true.
the next generation of like Maddie Ryan forever. Like just leather jacket, tightish kind of pants, fucking Hail Mary back one with a fucking cigarette.
Back
So,
one like onto a ledge. Dude, boom.
one of my favorites. His part in brown,
So sick.
huge.
Yeah.
Huge. What about high backs? Are you feeling, are you going both high backs in or out, or one in, one out?
With your pant?
Yeah, with the pant.
I'm going always just my pants are in. But I've been seeing people rocking some over the high backs.
It's coming
But
back.
I worry about like on like a jump takeoff or something if it catches. That's my thing with it.
Yeah, especially with how big they are. The old
Yeah.
pants tapered enough. Like, for example, when I first got into snowboarding, Foursquare was the first pant that I would have, I think, bought other than a hand-me-down. And they were baggy as fuck, but they tapered enough that your pant, unless they were ripped to pieces, wouldn't get over your edge.
Right. Yeah, I worry about the over edge.
Yeah, with the balloon pants.
People
haven't even thought about that yet.
No, that's
Front blunt
someone's
270?
gonna get taken down. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hospital visit for sure.
Oh, that's brutal.
Bandanas.
Bandana's so sick.
Are they gonna come back?
Uh,
Frozen paisley bandanas.
Yeah, just like actually chafing your entire face. You walk away with a rash after a cold
red tie dye all over your face.
Red tie dye 'cause it's raining at the bottom of Whistler and snowing up high, and you just keep like chafing your face running that tie dye bandana. I think it'll come back for sure.
Tall tee.
Tall tees, I feel like they'll come back. It's all gonna come back. You know it's gonna come back. I mean, I go to Park City, skiers are still wearing it.
The past the knee kind of one, like
Probably not past the knee. I feel like just like an in general tall tee will probably come back. Maybe like a tasteful layered tall tee.
because the skiers in Utah specifically were definitely watching the finger on the trigger, and I'm talking like the Familia videos.
Yeah,
and
for
they
sure.
took it just past that, like
Yeah,
baggier
they
than
went
Familia.
Too far. They went too far.
You don't go baggier than Familia.
No, you do not. And don't layer more than Lane Knack, dude. That's like don't be layering more than Knack.
But Lane Knack pulled it off.
Oh yeah, that's because he didn't go past.
Dude, the ear flap beanie with his hair sticking out with the electric goggles, like the Nate Bozong pair.
Yeah.
Oh my
dude,
god.
if you had like the crocheted Neff, ear flap headband with like some electrics and some skull candies.
and some scraggly
You
hair
knew
out the
like,
top.
you're like that person's so good at snowboarding. You see them in the lot, you're like, yep, that's
Yeah.
like, is that Casanova? Like who is that? You know, is that Bozung?
Definitely has a part in Smell the Glove.
Yep. Yeah, definitely has a part in Smell the Glove. Is definitely gonna be drunkest person at the patio bar at Big Bear.
All right, new project you're working on with Germ.
Yep.
You talked briefly today on the chairlift.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this project and what you got stern coming into this season of 2025.
Yeah. We're making a movie. Really excited about it. We haven't made a full length flick for a couple years now. We did like real snow, and that took up some time. And then kind of had like I think a natural selection took up a bunch of time one year, and then filmed with the Beyond Metals squad 2 years ago, and then did some YouTube stuff, and then last year we kind of got skunked a bunch, so we're just chasing snow this year and trying to board as much as possible, and definitely want to chuck carcass for sure. Definitely just trying to. Yeah, we haven't really clicked in yet, but I think there's like a lot of angst from last year of like not really getting it good. I feel like when it is on, we're just gonna be like going for it. So we got a pretty cool cast. We'll probably have. I'm not gonna leak everyone actually, but it's gonna be a really cool cast in it.
So you've hit Chad's gap in the past, which is a gap that had been found previous to you. Do you want to be the next generation and the leader to, find the next Chad's gap and go 120 feet still and still do back 12s, or is that chapter closing, or are you still ready to fucking buckle up?
I feel like I'm like, if my jumping, I feel like I'm down to jump to a certain point in the year, and then I'm like, I want to go ride some, not just all natty stuff, but look at some other features. But when if it's good and there's like huge jump, we definitely have some big dog jumps that we found one actually when I filmed with Nils that's in my Beyond Metals part that we couldn't get another filmer for the second angle of it, and it is 127 feet to the knuckle. And we measured Nils's cab 9 on it was like 153 feet. And we only had germ that day. We tried to get some other filmers and no one was available. And it was like, this is the sunny day, we got to hit it. And it was just this bottom angle of it. But we definitely want to go back and hit that and do it some justice, because that jumps, it's like a 127 foot step down kind of, not like a forum step down type, but you're hauling ass coming into it. And I definitely want to get some more stuff on that.
Is it a cross court jump? Am I thinking of the right one?
It's not quite cross court. It's kind of straight on. It's actually kind of in this weird tucked in amphitheater. It's in my Beyond Metals part. I back 10 it, and then Nils in one of
that jump is fuck. Yeah, it needs another angle. It
huge.
looks big.
Yeah, it's big, but like we bought a 100-foot tape measure and we're like, it's probably around 90 to 100 feet. And we went 100 and we were like, whoa, this thing's massive. But there's no gap in it, so it's just like you just fly on it. But yeah, hopefully we can get that again. That'd be fun. That thing it had this like crazy touchdown landing, but the landing wasn't really far. So if you overshoot it, like you're so bummed.
Okay, 150-foot jump with Nils. What other riders do you think could hang on that jump? They don't necessarily need to be filming with you, but let's get a handful of boarders who could hit that size of jump. You'd be comfortable.
And do like a big trick on it.
That you would be comfortable with them being on the sesh.
Sebe de Buck for sure. I think he'd do really good. Let's see. Sebe would do good. I mean, I think like Rene or Judd would do pretty good. You know who can fly? Sweeten can fly, man. Like, remember his cab 5 in that absinthe part?
And the front 3?
Or maybe it was the front 3. That
and
thing
cab
was
5. There's 2 clips.
That thing must have been $120. Had to.
Small guy, still a huge jump.
He can fly, man. I love
Sweeten can fucking fly,
man. Who else? I mean, dude, there's gonna be so many. Kind of just like spacing right now, but I love to sesh that thing with Buck. That'd be fun.
Yeah, lots of good boarders out there.
Yeah, there's so many now.
Well, we are gonna go for dinner.
Yep.
I know this is a little shorter than usual, but I feel like it's fine.
That was fine. That was fun.
We had a good time.
That was good. We both laughed.
We both laughed.
No, I like that. Like, would we go an hour?
We're an hour and 30 right now.
That's perfect.
I have a spa pass for you from the Scandinave Spa.
Wow.
Have you been before?
I've been. It's nice. That place is insane.
So no jokes. You can't fucking talk there. Zip it, bud.
Yes.
It's for everybody.
We should do the podcast there.
Just get me banned.
Dude, Roman DeMarchi's part in Vivid was insane. That's so sick. Dude, that heli clip.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. That's busted. We're there for the peace, the tranquility, the zen.
Yep. You need to hit that before like an NST.
So because you're going to have a big film year, I know that you're leaving tomorrow, but there is a pass for you. For the next year, you are good. So
wow,
if you ever come back to town,
I'm
let
using
me know.
that. I'll be back. We'll be back. I want to get you in the movie.
I would love that.
That would be
I was
sick.
actually waiting for you to ask.
Yeah. Who would you want to hit that jump with?
Me?
Definitely
not me, dude.
Me?
Dude.
I know you fly.
I have flown.
You've flown.
I've flown. I don't. But like, here's the thing: is that you want to lean into what inspires you, and there's the riding that I've been looking at and inspired by isn't necessarily hitting like big shit, but I do want to still hit a really big jump, but the 150, no. But I like the idea of like hitting a massive jump still, and Sollers always speaks to this, but it's like, you know, it's nice to have a part that's well rounded and you have some fillers, but there's also, just from what we digested and what we idolized growing up, you want to have the big front seven on a jump or a big back 180 that you're just
looks
like
so nice.
And my favorite snowboarders growing up, Ika, Aero, Pavo, fucking Trevor, Andrew, like that group, Renzi, like there's a group where like I want them to be like, that was a sick back five.
Sick back five.
And not like, oh, you milked out a back five. That was cute. Like, you know what I mean?
A huge back five is one of the sickest POW tricks you can do.
Yeah.
That's heavy trick.
Very. All right. Well, we got 10 questions here.
Clean.
Presented by Skull Candy.
Nice.
We got headphones over there. You can grab a pair.
Boom.
All right. First question. Best style currently and back in the day.
Ooh. I'll just write. I mean, I won't think too hard on this. Kevin Backstrom now and MFM back in the day.
Good picks.
I love it. The MFM was so sick.
Career highlight.
Second place at the Drinkwater Double Tap at Brighton.
Michael Wick was in a. Michael Wick was there just crushing June shine.
Being in Lick the Cat.
How's Wick doing, man?
He's doing great. Big shout outs to Wick.
Shout outs to Michael Wick. Fucking love that guy.
He's
I haven't seen him in 10 years.
He's the best.
Dude, like forever ago is like my birthday and I hit him up. I was like, yo, I'm going to Vegas. Like I heard you were like
You're
girlfriend
kind of like
works.
Vegas guy.
Yeah, I was like, I heard you have like a plug, and he got me like fully laced for my 30th in Vegas. Like
awesome.
Like trip of a lifetime.
Yeah. No, Michael Wick's the best.
Yeah, he's the best. Favorite clip that you filmed?
Favorite clip that I've filmed? Probably the front three in McCall off that cliff.
Let's get a little bit of a deep dive. I don't want to overlook that. Just like maybe setting.
Dude, actually, we have a kind of good story about it.
There we go. That's why
we rolled up. It was kind of, I think Ferg. It was Joy year. Ferg was at U.S. Open, and it was me and Gabe and Tyler Wharton, and I think Baden was and Baden, and we roll up to that cliff, and I'm front three in that thing. And we're looking at it, and then I look back, and there's like some other snowmobilers had come up, and it's E-Jack, and he's sitting there looking, and I'm like, "What's up, dude?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I didn't see you guys over there." I was like, "Nuh-uh." I was like, "No, we've been here, bro." And then we started talking. He's like, "What are you guys hitting?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm hitting that big cliff." He's like, E-Jack, dude. E-Jack's going big. He's like, I'm kind of looking at that big cliff too. I was like,
not today.
I was like, we were kind of here for, but I was like 25, like trying to like E-Jack. I'm just looking. I'm like, dude, you're such a legend. I'm tripping.
You didn't want a nightmare Jer Gigi?
Yeah, I was tripping that he's there.
A God situation.
Tripping that he's there. And Bigger Jer was there actually. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna set that up. Like that's like, if that's the only thing I hit here, like I'm down. And he was chill about it. He's like, okay. He's like, well, like, let me know if you don't, kind of, I'm like, no, dude, I'm hitting that. So I actually went up, patted it all down, and I sat on it for 3.5 hours waiting for sun, just standing, looking over the edge, which, like looking over the edge of a cliff or like a big step down, you're just like, you cannot see the landing. And so it just looks like you're going off into the middle, like you're going to land in the middle of the lake, And so we finally just call it off for the day. It gets late, and I sat up there for 3.5 hours. And like, okay, first thing in the morning, we're coming back. Like, we're hitting this thing, and we come back. I get up on the lip. I'm throwing snowballs, and Tyler Orton's like, "Dude, go further." And I throw a snowball. I'm like chucking the snowball off this thing, and he's like, "That's where you want to land." I'm like, "Dude, it's a cliff. Like, I should be going so slow at this." He's like, "Trust me." All right, dude. So I hike up like way further than I thought I was going to start from. I thought I was going to creep off this thing like front three. I'm like, dude, if I think I'm gonna like die on this thing. I just launch off, and in the air, I just see like I'm gonna catch perfect landing on this thing. Touchdown, like went so far out on it. I till this day, I'm like, I trust you with my life, dude. Like you can definitely always tell me where to land. And that trick on that feature was, robot food. They were hitting. They were kind of like airing off into it and then popping off. I think like Vile or Travis Parker in them. And
Parker.
Yeah. So that kind of like in lame, I think. Yeah. So that was like highlight for me for sure. Not to get too in the weeds of that clip, but I was hyped on that one.
No, I'm glad you took it there. And I think that if there's an emphasis on that exact point, it's so special when you build that trust with anybody in your life doing anything. Like there's always that one person that you're like, fuck it, I'll drive to Winnipeg with you. You'll get me there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you'll drive straight through the night with me passed out as a passenger and you will get me there.
Yeah.
Like there's just certain people in life that 100%. You go full
100%.
confidence in their ability to provide X.
Yeah.
And Tyler for you.
Yeah, like I could have went off and gone smaller and front three didn't probably landed it. But he's like, dude, go to that like next landing over there. So that's why I flew off it. And in there, I'm like, no shit. He was right.
And a filmer that just came out for the day that you didn't really understand their language. Like, when a new guy comes on the crew, they jump on the radio and they start talking fucking heebie-jeebie jabba. And you're like, I don't know what kind of fucking language you use with your crew, but none of that vocabulary stuck with me. Get somebody else on the fucking radio.
Someone else on the mic.
Yeah, totally. Leyland would always say that. Clear comms. Clear fucking comms.
Clear comms. If you're on the radio, you're speaking calm.
Most underrated rider.
Bryn Alexander, I'd say for sure. Oh, wow. I know that one's gonna hit good right now too, but I really do think he is. I think he's really talented, and I just love watching the way he rides too. You don't really know what he's gonna do. He's like dropping in. He was like back rodeo 7 off this little like nipple hit or something. Whoa, I would have like front 3'd that. He just I love watching the way he rides. It's unpredictable.
The last time someone said Bryn, I was like, no more Bryn.
Stop going Bryn. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Bryn forever. I fucking love that kid. What keeps you up at night?
Straight up, what keeps me up at night? Not living up to my own expectations of myself.
Well, here's me to say pat yourself on the back, because for everybody else in the world, you won the Olympics. You know what I mean? It's like everybody else is like, well, if you're not happy with where you're at, like what the fuck?
You know what's funny though is like I'm getting I like if I'm gonna go into like a project, I kind of just like I spend time getting into like this state of mind. And I kind of like I just erase everything I've done. Cause I'm just like, not just because I want to do new stuff, but like I want a clean slate. Cause and I'm not just like, oh, I want to do like the best stuff I've ever done, but like I kind of just push that other stuff aside that I've done so that I can focus on something new. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I think I set new expectations of myself, not from what I've done, but what I know I can do.
Okay. You've mentioned books a couple times throughout the podcast. This isn't on the 10 questions presented by Skull Candy, but since you're a reader, do you have a favorite book or a book you're reading right now?
Book I'm reading right now. I'm reading Acid for the Children, the Flea, Red Hot Chili Peppers book, and I've read Scar Tissue from Kiedis, and they're two really different books, but written very differently. Like Flea's just all over the place, and Kiedis is like so thoughtful. But reading that right now, it's interesting. I mean, I like biographies. I like Shoe Dog, the Nike one. That was like pretty motivating. I like reading.
Best thing you've ever seen live?
Probably the guy rolling down the moguls today on his back. That was insane.
I actually got that clip airdropped to me. So if you're watching the YouTube channel,
you got it.
I am putting that in. That's playing right now.
Someone who filmed it. Someone.
Tattoo homie. I forget his name.
Scott.
Scott was on the chair behind us.
No way.
And I was like, damn.
Dude, that was insane. He was so chill, but he was like rolling down the moguls like, oh no.
So for context, for those that are listening, there was a guy going head over heels double black diamond.
Ice. It was ice.
And right at the convexity when he had more than enough time to do anything to slow him down. He could have just stuck a hand down and it would have been enough. Anything.
He just chilled. Penguin
He just
slid.
chilled and
Straight
started
Mario penguin slide. Just
and then
like, I'm
starts
doing this.
That was rogue. Like he
That
could
was
have
insane.
taken out a fucking spine right there.
Straight up.
Favorite steel boarder
Favorite steel boarder of all time, or like just kind of right now?
as you see fit.
Gasme.
Gnarliest boarder.
Lucas Dabari. And Manuel Diaz.
Great picks. J-Rob was also crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you start going, you're like
Yeah,
J-Rob,
totally.
and you're like Blair Having it.
Yeah,
You start
totally.
just like going.
Anybody who straight lines in Alaska.
Yeah, straight up. I love watching those dudes board.
Favorite Christmas movie.
Christmas Vacation.
Which one's that?
National Lampoon.
Oh, yeah.
Clark Griswold. So it's you serious, Clark?
I didn't see that one that much.
Can't see the lines, Russ.
I'm more of a Home Alone guy.
Yeah, I mean, Home Alone's iconic.
All right, who is the GOAT?
My GOAT is, I think, realistically speaking, like Travis Rice is the GOAT. But then I think there are like generational GOATs too that you got to look at. Like I'd say Hawkinson's in there and Craig Kelly too.
Yeah, 100%.
Kinda
Well
like
said.
That's like a Mount Rushmore kind of, but.
All right, anything, any closing words, remarks, anything you want to say before we wrap this up?
Thanks for having me on for the banter. Thanks everyone who listened this far in. Hopefully you, I don't know, maybe learned something or just had a good time or laughed with us.
Hopefully they had a fucking laugh.
Hopefully everyone had a laugh because that was kind of what we hopped on for. So thanks for everyone who's supported me through all the years. I've been thinking that a lot lately, like kind of like turned pro or whatever at 16 and I'm 31 now. It's been, 15 years of pro snowboarding and just super thankful to strap in every day that I can.
Yeah, gratitude's a great way to exist.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So thanks
Totally.
for all the support and yeah.
All right, everybody, well, go snowboarding because even if you have migraines, it cures that too.
Get a London Fog at the top of Whistler.
Oh, I don't know because there's sugar sometimes. Is there sugar?
Didn't
in
you
London
have
Fog?
one today? Or no, we were just
I
talking
didn't have
about
a
the fog.
London fucking fog.
No.
I had a peppermint tea.
Yeah,
All right,
you
we're
had
wrapping it
peppermint
up.
tea. All right,
Thanks
later.
for tuning in. See you next week. Peace.
Oh, that was mad fun.
3, 2. Oh my God.
Yeah, what's up?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the program.
The Airtime Podcast is presented by Van Shoes since 1966.
There's nothing fake about it. Have something to believe in and be yourself. You know what I'm saying?